Bahrām Chōbin, also known by his epithet Mehrbandak, was a famous spahbed during the late 6th century in Persia. He usurped the Sasanian throne from Khosrau II, ruling for a year as Bahrām VI. However, he was later defeated by Khosrau II and was forced to flee. Family. Bahrām Chōbin was son of Bahrām of the House of Mihrewandak, one of the 7 Parthian clans of the Sasanian Empire. Bahrām Chōbin had 3 siblings whom were named Gorduya, and Mardansina. Rise. Bahrām Chōbin originally started his career as Martzbang of Ray, but in 572 he commanded a cavalry force which captured a Byzantine fortress and was promoted to army chief of Attribution and Media. After being promoted, he fought a long, indecisive campaign against the Byzantines in northern Mesopotamia. In late 588, a massive army of Turks invaded the eastern provinces of the Sasanian Empire, reaching as far as Bajis and Herat. Bahrām Chōbin was elected as the spahbed of Khorasan and commander-in-chief to lead 12,000 Sasanian forces against the Turks. After reaching Central Asia, his army ambushed a large army of Turks and conquered Balkh. He then crossed the Oxus River and trapped and defeated the Turks near Bukhara, killing the Gokturk Baga Jafu Khan with an arrow. The Turkic forces is said to have outnumbered his troops 5-1. After his great victory against the Turks, he was sent to Caucasus to repel an invasion of nomads, possibly the Khazars. Bahrām was once again victorious. Bahrām Chōbin was then made commander of the Sasanian forces against the Byzantines once again, and successfully defeated a Byzantine force in Georgia. However, he later suffered a minor defeat by a Byzantine army on the banks of the Araxes River. After his defeat, Hormuz IV disgraced him. He removed Bahrām Chōbin from the Sasanian office. Thus, he along with the main Persian army, rebelled against the Shah and marched towards Ctesiphon. Hormuzd was killed and his son, Khosrau II, unable to fight such an army, fled to Byzantine territory, and Bahrām sat on the throne as great king of Persia. Hormuzd IV tried to organize an effective resistance against Bahrām Chōbin. The Sasanian aristocracy, however, did not support him. Not even the religious leaders did. Hormuzd IV responded by imprisoning many Sasanian nobles. However, it did not make the situation better, because the Sasanian aristocracy revolted against him and freed the imprisoned nobles. Hormuzd IV was blinded and Khosrau II became king. However, Bahrām Chōbin wanted the throne for himself. He defeated the army of Khosrau II around the Zagros Mountains, capturing his uncle Vinduyi. However, Khosrau II and his uncle Vistam managed to escape. Vinduyi later managed to escape from his prison and fled over to Khosrau II's reign. Vinduyi was sent with a large army granted by the Byzantine Emperor Maurice. They went to Armenia to outflank Bahrām, who was defeated in the lowlands and lost Ctesiphon. He retreated to Azerbaijan and then wrote a letter to Musil II Mamikonian, an Armenian spahbed who was helping Khosrau II. The letter said, "As for you Armenians who demonstrate an unseasonable loyalty, did not the house of Sasan destroy your land and sovereignty? Why otherwise did your fathers rebel and extricate themselves from their service, fighting up until today for your country?" Bahrām Chōbin in his letter promised that the Armenians would become partners of the Sasanian Empire ruled by a Parthian dynastic family if he accepted his proposal to betray Khosrau II. Musil, however, rejected the offer. Khosrau II's army then marched towards Azerbaijan and defeated Bahrām Chōbin at the Battle of Bleruthan, forcing him to flee to the eastern parts of Persia. While Bahrām Chōbin was fleeing to the east, he defeated a Karen army and later arrived in Fergana, where he was received honorably by the Khagan of the Turks. Khosrau II, however, could not feel secure as long as Bahrām Chōbin lived, and succeeded in having him assassinated. The remainder of Bahram's troops returned to northern Iran and joined the rebellion of Istam, which took place in 590 over 1-596 or 594 fifths minus 600. The fate of his family. After Bahram's death, his sister Gordia traveled to Khorasan where she married Vistam, who during that time was like Bahram, also rebelling against Khosrau II. She later killed the latter and joined Khosrau II, who took her as his wife. Bahrām had 3 sons named Shapur, Mihran, Bahrām Chōbin, and Noshraid. Shapur continued to oppose the Sasanians, and later joined the rebellion of Vistam. After the end of the rebellion, Shapur was executed. Mihran is mentioned in 633 as the head of a Sasanian army, and fought against the Arabs during the Arab invasion of Persia. Not much is known about Noshraid, except that he had a son named Togmath, whose descendants would later form the Samanid dynasty. Legacy. There are many fables attributed to Bahrām VI, as is the normal for many heroes in Persian literature. The chapters in Volume 8 of Ferdowsi's 11th century Shahnameh on the reigns of Hormizd, son of Khosrau I, and Khosrau Parviz, both of which are almost as much about Bahrām Chōbin as about Hormizd or his son. Following the collapse of the Sasanian Empire, the Samanid dynasty, formed of descendants of Bahrām Chōbin, became one of the first independent Persian dynasties. Family tree.